Let's see if I got everything set up. Alright. Cup of water. Okay. Alright, well, hello. We're going to play some Diablo 3 today. I've been progressing through Season 3. Got a monk here, level 36. Bumped up to Master last night just for fun, and turned out to be just fine. So we're going to go back in there and see what happens. And naturally, of course, the only thing to do in Diablo 3, as far as I'm concerned, is to run rifts. So let's see, do I have a rift key? No, I do not. Could run bounties, but I've got plenty from my other character, so who cares? I'm just going to use what I've got. So it is a beautiful day here where I'm at, actually, which is kind of unfortunate, but my wife is 9 months pregnant and due any time now, so we're just kind of killing time while I wait for the next little mouth. But so I've been playing a monk this season. Actually, I've been maining a wizard, and as you can see, I'm already Paragon 94 with my wizard, and I watched another streamer play a monk in Greater Rift 55, I think it was, and just kind of blew my mind. I wasn't aware that the monks were really that viable, because I haven't played one in so long. So, I figure I may as well give it a shot. And I've really been enjoying it. I mean, at level 37, managed to pick up quite a few good items. I don't know if you see that arcing lightning there. That's from the Wreath of Lightning gem that I picked up in a Greater Rift on my wizard. At some point, I will play a little bit of the. I'll play some wizard. I'll put some wizard content on here, but I wanted to show how progressing. Really, I mean, the leveling process in this game is just too quick. It really is. If you play rifts, then it's just too quick. You get a ton of gear, you get a ton of loot. I'm not sure that gold is even really that useful, other than for repairs. But it's still awesome to see the giant piles of it lying around. I mean, there's nothing better. It really isn't. For me. But that's okay. So the monk, obviously, I'm running a exploding palm here. It's just I had forgotten how ridiculously overpowered it feels. And for a while I had a two-handed sword here. Or a two-handed battle axe, rather. So the exploding palm damage was just astronomical. But I have swapped out for two one-handers because I found a pretty decent, the flesh rake. Which did bump my overall DPS up, but it did reduce the damage on the exploding palm, which, if you don't know, it causes an enemy to bleed for 1200% weapon damage as physical over 9 seconds, and if it dies while bleeding, it explodes and deals 2,770 weapon damage as physical. So it's insane, and it's a quick way to clear out yellow and blue packs, is to pull just a huge group. Yeah, see, we've got all these. We'll pull them up here, and we'll put the exploding palm onto these little tiny critters that are easy to kill. And doesn't matter how much health the creature has, the explosion does the same damage, no matter what. So, you put it on these tiny critters, you kill the tiny critters, you watch the big critters just melt. It's pretty satisfying. The problem with this build is that if you go up against a single target just like that, it's a lot more difficult to just burst anybody down. You don't have any single target burst. It's all about the AoE, which is fine, because usually in the regular rifts like this you'll have plenty of mobs around, even when the boss spawns. Whereas in a greater rift, once the boss spawns there, unless he or she specifically spawns adds, there aren't any more monsters in the dungeon, or in the greater rift. So the nice thing about the regular rifts is at least you can usually find a few small critters to pull in nearby the boss, and then you just mark up a whole bunch of them, suck them all in with the Cyclone Strike, which is what I've been running. Other people use, and there's a ton of builds that are all very viable, but for the early game I just find running Exploding Palm with a bunch of defensive abilities to just sit in this, you see all that damage coming down, but I'm not even taking that much at all. It's incredible. Once we get some more cooldown reduction, and we'll be able to keep the Serenity up almost full time, and our mantra of Salvation, which increases our defense and resistance to all. So as you can see, against a single target where it's just lackluster, but we get one of those tiny targets in here with that Exploding Palm, and boom, done. One shot basically. Except it took a dozen shots on him by himself. So it's always a good idea to try and herd around and just get as big a group of monsters as you can. You chain them together so that when one dies it does enough damage, hopefully it kills another one, and then that one explodes, and hopefully it does enough damage to kill another one that you've got it marked. And so the chain reaction can really be what sets your DPS into the skyrocketing. So yeah, like I said, my wife is pregnant. She's about to have a baby. We're about to have a baby. Any day, a second baby. So there will be a lag time between videos. I'm just trying to get a bunch out right now so that I can keep publishing videos while I'm not able to actually record any. So, but I'll still have a chance. I'll be able to at least edit them and get them in the can, ready to publish, so I should have a consistent stream anyways, even though there will be a lag time between gaming, clearly, once my second child is here. So, just be aware. Some videos will have been streamed on, or will have been recorded on this same day, even though they may not be published for weeks. But that's what's new in my life, and yeah, just really enjoying gaming. I mean, really, man, spent a lot of time in a lot of these games, and I'm glad to just be gaming and doing what I love to do, and yeah, slaying monsters, picking up loot. Goes way back, man. I loved the Diablo series. I've played a ton of Warcraft. I don't know if any of you played the original Warcraft series, but man, they hit the mark. Really hit the mark with that series. I've really been enjoying the Diablo 3. Actually, I know a lot of people had complaints about it in the beginning, and I didn't buy into any of it. Look, I liked the game. I got my enjoyment out of it. I'm still playing the game more than a year later, so I mean, I don't see what all the hubbub was about. People claiming disloyalty. I don't know, it's whatever. People are crazy in general, and just not willing to wait it out. In general, people just not being patient enough. You know, games take time to develop. You can't expect them to make a great game overnight. Diablo 2 was a huge success, absolutely, and it took, what, more than a decade to get Diablo 3 out. And a lot of people said that it failed, but I don't agree with that. I think it's a huge success. Even if they didn't hit the numbers that they were really intending to, which I think they did. I don't have the actual numbers right in front of me, but I'll look them up and post them. But even if they didn't hit their numbers, their internal numbers, still, it's a success. It's been a great game. There's still a lot of people playing, no matter what anybody says. If I went into a public game, I'm sure I could find someone near my level. Alright, so let's see, where'd the boss spawn? Okay, so he's up there. We've got it. Oh, and it's Ember. Okay, well, let's try and find some mobs, because we're going to need to pull some little guys close to him. Okay, here we go. This will help us burn him down quicker. So the monk, as I've already said, just does not excel at all at dealing with single targets. You've really got to have multiple. The more the better, and the more that you can stack up your exploding palm if you happen to be running this build. Now there are a lot of other viable builds, and I'm definitely going to be showing them off once I get some gear to support those builds. At the moment I'm kind of limited because I'm not level 70 yet. I can't really get the good stuff, and I don't really want to pick up any of the build defining gear before levels, before max level. It just doesn't make any sense. I'd rather get those things later. Let's see if we can pull some more little guys in here. Here we go. So we're just not doing enough damage. Single target. There we go, that was a good chunk. Yeah, what's he got? 1.7 million hit points, which is a single hit for a level 70, but not for me. Let's see if we can pull some more. Yep, well, this is going about as well as I'd expected it to. Boss comes, we've got mobs, but I'm just not able to kite them into him. Oh, well, and here's some more elite packs, which is fine. Definitely do need more of those. Let's see if I can pull this off here. Oh, come on. So, obviously, not invincible. But the monk can take a lot of damage. Oh, gotta get building up my stacks here. This damage reflect is what's really killing me. Every time my exploding palm blows up, I take a lot of damage. Got it. There we go. Okay, well. Again, the problem with going against a single target with this build. I just don't have any. Oh, well, this will help. I can at least spam my abilities. Okay, well, with the channeling pylon, we got that pretty easy. But, as you can see, single target damage, just not the forte of the monk. And a lot of the builds for the monk are not really single target focused. They really end up being multi-target AoE style, even without exploding palm. Though I just find it so much fun, I can't help it. But I mean, you just watch these elite packs just melt as you kill a single tiny thing. Now, look, a lot of people say you should never clear a rift. I don't necessarily agree. I tend to like to clear every rift. It's my personal feelings on it are that it's an opportunity where you have increased loot drop chance, you get increased experience for leveling a character up. You know, you don't always want to be doing a bunch of bounties. Luckily I did a bunch of bounties on my level 70. I've got plenty of bounty keys, so I don't have to keep doing these rifts past killing the Guardian. But I like to, especially while I'm leveling my character. There's still a lot of loot left in here. There's still a lot of experience. I think it's worth it. And so generally I do it. Not always, but most of the time. I don't see any real reason not to. Even on my max levels, sometimes I will clear out the entire rift. Just because it does, I mean, I cannot count the number of times that after I've killed a Rift Guardian, I keep going a little bit further and then a legendary item drops. And it's like if I had just quit after killing that boss, I would not have gotten whatever legendary that was, you know. So it's kind of hard for me to say that you should just quit after killing the boss. Even though I know a lot of people do like to do so. And that's their choice. Hey, anybody can do whatever they want. It's the beauty of the games. You can play solo or you can play with friends. I've got a few friends that play this game, and we party up occasionally, but it's been a while. Most of them have kind of drifted into other things, which I don't blame them, but I'm still having plenty of fun. And the new season brought new items. I believe they said something about a new character coming out here soon. I am just totally sucking at this game right now. Choosing the wrong targets to... Choosing the wrong targets to target with exploding palm. Need to choose the soft, squishy ones so that they don't go down quick. Make it as easy as possible on yourself. Yep, some of these compositions are just devious too. Like when they've got reflex damage and frozen, etc. And they just start piling on later on in difficulties. It gets pretty ridiculous. Or like Jailer, Vortex, Arcane, Desecrator. That's one of the worst mixes that I've come up against. Wow. Okay, so I'm doing pretty bad here. And it put me back at the beginning of the first rift. Alright, well, we'll just call it good there then. Since I totally sucked at that one. I'll be using a lot more spirit, but hopefully... Oh yeah. That's much better. Well, Sweeping Wind seems to be doing quite well. Oh, I did not change the Exploding Palm. Okay. So, that's pretty freaking sweet. That basically makes me even more invincible because of the life leech. Wow. As long as I keep the stacks up. That's pretty incredible. Okay, so this is my new build. Sweeping Strike. Exploding Palm. What is this? Way of the 100 Fists. And yeah, it's doing really well. Granted, this is only Master. Not even in Torment here yet. So, but I think with this build I can move up to Torment now. Yeah, this has become cheese now. Okay, well, then I guess at the end of this run I will cut it before I do all the selling and repairing and crap. That's not really important to see. And the next video will be in Torment. Yeah. Because I'm probably just going to try and jump straight to Torment 2. Because this is just ridiculous, and we'll see how that goes. I'm sure I'll have to tone it back down to Torment 1. But maybe not. This is doing a lot of damage. Really easy. Super easily. The only thing I need is more spirit generation, which I'll get at level 42. So, which will be quick in Torment. Real quick. Although I'm actually almost there right now. So we'll see how that works out. So just working on keeping up the Sweeping Strike and throwing down a couple Exploding Palms here and there. Make sure everything goes down quick. say no to a chest. Well, I guess it's going quick in Master too. Single target damage has come up just a little bit with the change to sweeping wind, but still not a significant enough amount that I'd say it's fixed. My build, that is. I just don't think this is going to be... I don't know, we'll see. This might carry me into Torment. I might need to build a little more defensively, I don't know. I don't have a ton of health. I don't have a ton of spirit regen. Which is where, and the cooldown reduction between spirit regen and cooldown reduction is where I'll find the best. The best build. Well, the best build for me. Not for everybody. This certainly is not the best build of anything. But it's fun. I suppose that's really what matters. I mean, I play video games to have fun. I don't know about the rest of you, but it's stress relief and whatever too, but it's fun. And it's entertainment. And I enjoy that entertainment. So those pools, that pool that I just touched gives you increased experience so long as you stay alive. And those have rather affectionately become known as death pools for me, because it seems like any time that I touch one, some type of unkillable elite pack comes out of nowhere around the next corner, killing me, making my use of that pool just worthless. It's really frustrating. But all in all, man, they've made a lot of changes to this game in the last year too, and I think they've been changes for the better, in my opinion. The loot system was definitely broken. The real money auction house was definitely broken. There was no need for any of that. I mean, really, the core of this game is supposed to be crawling through a dungeon. It's not supposed to be working the auction house to make money, to work the auction house to buy gear, and have the only means really available of getting gear is the auction house. That's from the few people who are actually get lucky enough to pick up decent gear. Like, the changes have been for the better, and there's no question in my mind about that. I think most people agree. Maybe not everybody, because there's always contrarians in any group. So much damage coming down. These little blobs do a lot. The acid slimes. It's just all AoE damage. And it hurts. but I can use them against him with my exploding palm. And they'll do a ton of damage to him, which definitely helps. You can see they actually take a significant chunk of his life off. 100,000 or so at a time. Which doesn't seem like much, but he's only got 2 million health, so it's about right, in my estimation. Alright, once again I'm just going to keep going past the boss for a little bit here. Either until I reach an seemingly unwinnable scenario, or I pick up a legendary or two, then I'll probably drop out. Oh, look at this. An odious collector. Oh, the little bastard. Come here. Come here. When he dies, he's gonna spawn 2 more of his little cells. There's gonna be 2 little ones. We gotta stay on top of this guy or he'll disappear. Oh, no, he didn't. That's a different kind. Huh. There's so many different kinds of treasure goblins now, I get them all confused. I thought that was the kind that when he died, he dropped 2 more of himself, and then when they died, they dropped 2 more of themselves, and they keep replicating until you've killed like 6 or 7, or 6 or 8 of them, I can't remember exactly. It's pretty ludicrous though. Alright, so we got all that loot. Anything here? Eh, garbage ring. So I don't tend to pick up a lot of blue stuff. I don't really need the materials. I'm not building anything, making anything that ridiculous. Here we go. So I'm gonna go back to Fist of Thunder just because the quickening gives me a lot of additional. Oh, let's see. Also, piece of meat. Wow. Okay. Let's see how that works out. So I get increased spirit generation from my basic attack there. And we'll see how that works out. It's less damage, but having more spirit probably gonna counterbalance that. Being able to spam my abilities more often. Whew. So I need to be putting my exploding palm on these tiny little worms here. Because remember, it does the same amount of damage no matter if it's a tiny little worm or a boss creature that explodes with my debuff on them. Does not matter at all. It could have 30 hit points, it could have 30 billion hit points. But it scales off of my weapon damage, so which is why it's a good idea actually to get to use a two-handed weapon. I do see the value in using a two-handed weapon just because you can increase that damage so much more. And a lot of your abilities actually are dependent on what you're Oh, their plans, though. I've got this conduit. Oh, keep going. I wish I had a little bit more, but nope. It's gone. Oh, I'm gonna die. Whew! So much damage. I don't know if there's just one group here, or if there's two. Oh, and here's another one. Let's see, I don't know what kind this is. A gilded baron. Oh, he's got all the gold. And with ease. Oh yeah. See now, if only I had my boon of the hoarder on, which I do not. Give me even more gold. Ridiculous amount. But, man, again, I'm just not sure that gold is really all that useful in this game. There are plenty of things that you need it for, but well, I think I'm probably gonna wrap up this one so that I should have time to cut one more in Torment. More difficult, more mobs, more everything. Hopefully a little better representation of what you can expect if you aren't already playing. Which, honestly, I recommend you. If you don't have Diablo 3, buy it. Seriously, what are you waiting for? Just buy it. It's a great game. Alright, and that's going to conclude today, or this video. But when we come back, there will be... I'm going to attempt Torment 2. We'll see how that goes. Alright, so long everybody.